focus. That does mean Graves is open. I wonder if World 6 goes towards that or the Lee Sin. No, it's going to be that Graves. That's smart because you don't want to get outright bullied. Lee Sin has that level 6 potential, but Graves is actually just very impactful in how he's able to condition the enemy jungler. And then when he gets level 6, that's just execution damage coming through.
Yeah, but that means that Rengar is still open. Despite that, though, looks like Condi will look towards that Lee Sin as Ashe is picked up for Mystic. So still prioritizing that bottom lane very early on, even though it is blind. That means the support is open for WE. OMG have a chance to pare down that support pool by 1 if they were to pick it here, but there's not too much you can do to slow WE's roll so far.
Yeah, this is where OMG starts to second guess who they're gonna pick up for their bottom lane, because knowing that initial Ashe ulti, that enchanted crystal arrow on top of maybe Condi's focus can really demolish you. They don't want to pick up a hard carry outright. Sure, Kog'Maw has been banned. I'm sure we're not going to be seeing a Jinx again, but it is smart for them to go towards that Varus themselves.
Varus now picked up for Smlz. He gets to take that into the bottom lane of Mystic's Ashe. We know he's very talented on that champion. He's played it quite a bit. That's actually his about 6th or 7th time since getting into playoffs, including regular season. Looks like they are going to take away Karma from Xiye in that last game. He did a great job of keeping Icon locked down in that mid lane, despite the fact that he was on Ahri. But WE are actually prioritizing kled for 957 before their support.
Yeah, that's what's surprising, because at this point, OMG is going to say, well, we'll just ban out Lulu. We're just probably going to ban out Nami as well. Or Zyra. Lulu and Zyra is what I want to see out of OMG in terms of bans. Okay, Malzahar, that works as well. That's been banned special.
That also means that there's a trade-off, as Xiye's pool is relatively untouched if they do decide to ban out Lulu, if they do decide to ban out Nami.
That's fair. And I think what's interesting is that WE is really confident in the support champion pool that Ben has, that they can actually hold out in terms of the picks. We could even see an Ashe Thresh perhaps, so that maybe OMG is going to second guess the bans that they output. So that's just really 957 saying, pick me back that kled. I want to see what I can get for myself.
Perhaps now throwing a spanner in the works, as that is Thresh banned away from 5. Even though WE have next pick after this, they're perhaps trying to confuse OMG with this ban. They've got 12 seconds left for the final one. Do they continue to target Ben or swap over to Xiye? His Syndra's still open.
Yeah, and remember Icon, even though that's a karma for them, that's generally he doesn't go to that champion at all. That's not his champion. So the flex is not going to be a thing on OMG's side when they have the karma pick. It's likely just going to go to 5.
Okay, so that was the Syndra ban. Immediately, LeBlanc picked up for Xiye in the mid lane against Icon. The assassin taken up against Icon, the hitman. This could be a very bloody lane if Icon tries to meet it head-to-head, but we still have to see OMG round things out with the top lane.
Yeah, I want to see what Icon goes towards, because he can actually just hold on to that Karma, because it is a good matchup, a really good matchup. People have just gone towards Karma into LeBlanc, very much so. You itemize well to it with magic resistance, you just shove out and make it such a difficult lane for it. And I think DoinB has made it a special for himself. In fact, Xiye has as well.
It is a bit disappointing, though. When you look at those two mid laners, you want to see them go off on huge assassins against each other. You want to see the outplays. Ryze is certainly a champion that could try for that. Not quite as spectacular as the likes of a Zed or a Talon or something, but a Jayce could be a great answer. And with both of these mid lane hovers, seems like OMG might be sending that Karma down bottom.
And this is where styles look like they're clashing here, because that's a massive win rate on the Jayce, and Icon loves that champion. You could have actually went towards the support pick, but you know what? Why would they? Just put that Karma into the bottom side of the map and give him a 5's hand. That's going to be a lot of pressure coming out of the bottom lane. That being said, the caveat to that is, what is WE going to pick up for Ben as he gets the last pick?
Looking now to round things out, the final support he gets to pick for himself. Nami seems like a huge champion that's left open with all of the confusing bans from OMG, as they ended up being a little scattered by WE's own interesting set of bans. But Nami now rounds it out. That's Nami Ashe for Mystic and Ben in the bottom lane. Xiye on a huge champion on that LeBlanc with his Talia and Syndra banned out. And then we're seeing Condi on one of his signature champions with that Lee Sin. 957 gets back on the kled. WE seems like, despite the crazy order in which they've picked this, they've got priority picks. This is the pick of the litter for them.
Xiyang goes straight back into that Gragas pickup, as you mentioned, just knowingly into the kled. Maybe he plays it well this time around. It's for the composition because they've had some prime backliners of Smlz and Icon. I am surprised by Ben going towards that Nami pick, even though that is a pick that he has gone to very often when he's given the opportunity and chance. But Zyra is a champion that would work well with the Ashe pick and would really look to bully out that bottom lane. Maybe get poked, but the all-in potential once you hit 6 is pretty massive, and you get that strong team fighting. But it is a Nami. It's not like I hate the champion.
You can still definitely follow up with a bubble after the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and then time your tidal wave to hit just afterwards, but it's going to be a little difficult against the likes of Karma. And we know that Smlz, very capable on this Varus. He's going to sit nice and far back away from that minion wave if he feels that he's in threat. I think the fun thing to watch, though, is the junglers. That we are seeing Graves versus Lee Sin from Condi in World 6. And it's, in fact, Condi on Lee Sin and World 6 on Graves, not the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, both of these champions, or at least both these players, have made a massive name for themselves on the Lee Sin. It's funny because when OMG made that shift between Xiye and World 6, the champion pool didn't change.
Yeah.
It was essentially the same Lee Sin pick, but we saw a lot of girth under that man, and we saw a lot of movements and understanding of where he wanted to be. A lot of his focus went towards looking to invade. So it was nice seeing out of World 6.
Yeah.
And to the opposite end, Condi made a name on that Lee Sin, so he's going right back on it. He's going to showcase what he's got.
One of the best junglers in China right now, trying his luck once again against OMG. We've got a huge kill threat composition out of Team WE, but will OMG be able to hang on? They are down 1 game in this best of 5 as WE look to be playing at the top of their game. Hear the fans chanting, OMG repping it up, trying to be the 6th man for the crowd. And the WE fans perhaps feeling a little comfortable, not quite as loud as they were in game number 1.
Oh, I'd be intimidated by that last guy.
Yeah.
If he was beside me, I wouldn't be chanting.
You'd be like, well, dude, why are you yelling?
No, I mean, that man would punch me if I questioned him. That guy has a lot of passion.
He certainly does, and hopefully that passion will translate towards his players, the very emotional team OMG. They really need to step up if they want to match the well-oiled machine that is Team WE in this game. Ooh. 4 members of WE are sitting in this brush, perhaps predicting a late invade from the Gragas Graves, and Xiyang is actually pulling down.
Yeah, so the fact that jayce is not moving towards this does mean that World 6 will not have this push. Maybe they go towards it.
They drop the sweeper.
All right, all right.
That's Xiye backing up a little bit. World 6 is still hanging out there. He's got 7 seconds left to make up his mind. Icon is being pulled there. Ben is just outside of vision.
They're coming. They didn't see
there
Ben.
They go. Now they see him at this point, but Xiye's already there. The chains goes wide. Xiye.
Sadness.
Huge miss there.
That's
that could have been a potential killer, at least a summoner spell, but now this is WE making their way to lanes. But take a look at Mystic. He's all on his own on the bottom. They're actually turning back around to find 957. He's going to start lane at a massive disadvantage.
Oh, no.
Red buff is even going to pat him on the way out as he burns his health potion right away. Icon keeping Xiye busy by shoving in that lane very early on and just gets a huge trade onto him, seeing that Xiye started off with the ethereal chains. So this is a huge win for Team OMG.
Yeah, this is a... We expected this to happen, especially since we saw the Thunderlords. Graves into Lee Sin is really tough for the Lee Sin, especially with OMG. They were definitely going to be looking to take up that Raptor camp and deny out of Condi. In fact, Condi, I remember when he had the Graves pick himself, when that champion got a bit of the buff of the, I guess it was the itemizing for him. He would do this so often and just completely demolish the enemy jungler. Now, World 6 has a champion for himself, is able to push him out. It was a little worrying because they didn't see Ben. It was very close. But they didn't get vision on him, so they didn't have a tip-off in realizing, okay, this play is happening. So for some reason, Sport is right in the mid lane.
And now this is what we see from OMG, realizing that Condi might try to go aggressively back in to invade and try to get a 2-buff start. World 6 makes his way towards his own red buff to protect it. So this is going to be a 3-buff start from Team OMG's World 6. Meanwhile, Xiye has been missing a lot of shots onto Icon, though he is keeping even in CS. And Xiyang up top is having a grand old time.
And it was all based off of the damage that kled took really early on, especially since he started Doran's Blade. He only had that 1 pot to his name. So Xiyang is definitely feeling a little happier in comparison to the last game.
Condi, though, trying to affect the game still. Looks for Icon. I'm pretty sure that Ethereal Chains just teleported.
Just took a little jump.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm making up the difference.
Catches that minion wave as it heads back. There's blue buff now from World 6. Condi's on that side of the map, but there's nothing that he can do. He will pop Scryer's Bloom to spot it out, and he's actually heading over for Invade, but World 6 has got his own Smite. Should be just fine as long as he clears that out in time. And Condi will just focus on vision on that top side of the map and try to keep pace in that way.
Yeah, so Condi losing out a bit of experience just based off of the fact that he lost 2 camps early on definitely hurt him. He's in a point where he's cleared it all up except for Krugs, so he doesn't know where he wants to be. Thankfully, Mystic being on Ashe does mean he gets a bit of a heads up as to where World 6 is at when those Hawk shots are placed, so he knew where World 6 was, but he was going towards the blue buff so he can easily take up that Scuttle Crab.
And now that means the bottom lane for Mystic and Ben get the opportunity to shove into Smlz in 5. They're overextended a little bit, but still feeling very safe because World 6 is on the other side of the map. Condi, though, looking to head top, and there's already a very early control ward. And now World 6 is spotted roaming around mid lane.
So that early on point makes it so Condi has well enough protected 957 from that early disadvantage that he's had, just based off of the control ward that he was able to put there for himself, and also at the same time the Scuttle Crab. So that just means that with 957, even though he is aware of where Graves might be, he's going to be able to take a little bit more aggressive in trades. So he's at a CS advantage that we kind of expect that in this lane, even with this the kind of a disadvantage that he's had earlier on. What that does mean is that Xiyang has TP advantage over 957, so if some random crazy play happens.
He did use his teleport very early on to get back in.
Yeah, he needed it. So that's it's going to be okay simply because you shouldn't expect a play to happen this early on. But that's going to be a little bit more safety coming on for OMG, knowing that they have that safety.
And now take a look towards the bottom side of the map. Mystic and Ben are shoving in because they know they've got help from Condi. The level catches 5. They're going to get a lot of damage, but that's heal and exhaust. Ignite traded over. Will they be able to burst? Mystic down. He heals. Auto attack gets first blood from Smlz as he sidesteps onto the minions. World 6 shows up as well. Ben's got flash, and that's going to miss the slow. So they do trade flash for flash with those supports, but huge advantage for OMG's bottom lane.
Yeah, off a play Mystic and Ben were going for. They just did not realize how much damage was going to be traded back, so that was great from Smlz to really trade that on. Mystic blowing flash late, so that's no sums for Mystic, and of course a death to his name.
Ooh, World 6 misses the end of line. That's actually his full combo. He's still 2 levels up with a longsword advantage. Condi's got flash, dashes in, but Ben is there as well, and World 6 scares him away. They've even managed to pull 5 towards that side as he gets another great shot onto Ben.
He didn't get the kill, or at least the damage off of his end of the line, but he still gets the kill on the Grump. So it's so much experience being denied out of Condi. Condi's at such a difficult point. He's level 3 to World 6's level 5. So this is what you really have to worry about, and with the bottom lane play really going on WE's head, yeah, OMG, much better game for them. Just 6 minutes in.
Now he's continuing to invade as he heads towards the Raptor camp. Xiye is pushed under turret, so he has to choose between CS or helping his jungle. That's level 6 picked up. Smite for both, but level 6 to level 3. Look at how much damage that Smite is doing this early as he's keeping pace with his mid lane.
What can this guy do? What can you do, Condi? Every camp is being ripped right under you. At this point, usually Lee Sin's look to trade. We've seen times where Ben 4, I believe, in last play, or at least last set, he finds himself in that tough position. I know you're a LeBlanc. Get out of here. You can't send 2 people at me. That he would look towards getting enemy Krugs, because that's just not a point where World 6 would be looking to pick up.
With the presence that we see bottom lane, 5 is now unlocked for vision, roams towards mid, but is spotted out well in advance. And we're still seeing a deep ward line from WE, so despite being at about a 1,200 gold deficit, they're still maintaining vision in this game, so they know the plays are happening. The question is, when the play does happen, can they respond appropriately?
Likely won't. And so the point was hidden with the bottom lane, right? If their bottom lane was winning, if Mystic and Ben were able to get that kill or win out in that trade, then Lee Sin actually could have went towards challenging enemy Krug. He wouldn't be this far behind in experience. Level 6, level 5. That being said, 957 chasing that man like a gremlin that he is. Get out of here.
Again, kled getting that bonus movement speed, running towards enemy champions, tries to tag him with the violent tendencies. And like you said, it's still even in that top lane. Xiye now gets blue buff to keep up with Icon. He's actually gone for a Gunblade first. Icon seeming to hedge his bets. He's got the Serrated Dirk and the Tear, so going middle of the road between the scaling and damage build from Jayce.
Yeah, we've been seeing that a lot out of Jayce's in the mid lane. Will likely go towards the Yomu's Ghostblade. Keep onto that Tear. get the mana pull to be able to just utilize Shock Blast time and time again. That's just something that we have here for himself. He's going to be feeling a little bit confident because even though he has serrated Dirk, we kind of want to see him go towards a Hex Drinker as well for the lane, so he just doesn't get outright bursted out in this by Xiye.
There's still a lot of pressure on Icon in the mid lane, considering how he played against a team IMA. He's a huge emotional foundation for the team. You can see when he's popping off, he's really popping off. But when he falls behind, it affects everyone on Team OMG. Though now Smlz in 5, the silent bottom lane, they're doing a lot of work down here in maintaining that kill advantage for a little gold. But Condi and Xiye show up just to get some harass. He's popped back. Now that's a follow-up from Condi. He's level 6. He's got his own flash, and the second ethereal chains means WE get a kill onto Icon.
Really well played from WE. Xiye and Condi were fishing for it. They had proper control wards just so they know that there is no follow-up coming out of OMG. And so Icon just did not have a clue where Lee Sin was. So he thought he could just look for that trade, but the moment he did, he just gets locked down by ethereal chain. And of course, the other one's going to be coming to hit it up, second chain, just so Condi can get the execution damage. So really well played from WE, just playing around with vision. They have complete control of the right side here of this mid lane. So really Icon had to be afraid of that, had to be cautious. And that the fact that he wasn't is now going to bite him. He doesn't have flash, he does have exhaust. With Xiye taking over this mid lane, he might just get blown up.
And this is exactly what you talked about in terms of Condi. He's at a huge deficit behind World 6. What can he do? Hard farm or try to affect his lanes? Well, he shows up mid, he gets a kill for Xiye, getting him that assist. And suddenly, he's only down a single level behind World 6. Still about 22 jungle creeps behind him, but that's probably just a Krug or two. In terms of overall distance, Condi is catching up. And despite being down, making a case for, again, being the best jungler in the league.
And this is going to be a problem for World 6, right? Just to hit on that point, what is World 6 going to do? Go topside? It's going to be difficult for him. It's a possibility.
Continue to hard farm? Turn into a late game hyper carry?
I mean, that's an option, but he doesn't want that to happen because that gives WE a lot of free space to move around. So you have to expect perhaps he looks towards the bottom lane. Varus, who is level 7, does have his ulti.
Later the Ruined King as well.
Exactly, so that could be a point of focus for him. If he can just get that one ulti coming off, then of course World 6 does have the damage and execution based off of his collateral damage to make it work for him. So that could be a pressure point. In fact, that could even free Icon.
Oh, no! Oh.
You lost it. You lost your right to that blue buff, Icon.
World 6 doesn't want to risk it.
I can't believe it.
10 health, so close. If he had survived just a little bit longer, that would have been a finished Caulfield's Warhammer. And that would have been enough damage to finish off that blue buff. So already that kill paying itself off. Condi's still back in this mid lane.
And remember, Icon does have a tier.
He does.
He wants to be able to stack it. In fact, he wants to be able to free himself from this lane. Not having that blue buff to be able to impact this matchup is going to be massive for him because this bottom lane could be well enough in WE's wheelhouse.
He's primed to be unlocked right now. Take a look at the vision from Team OMG. They are so set to get something happening bottom. There's no wards from WE. It's all been cleared out or timed out. The control wards have gotten away. But Condi makes his way down there first. He spots out 5 bubble and arrow misses. They're even using 957's teleport, which is canceled. But Condi actually did not show himself. I don't know if they saw the Sonic Wave or not.
They are going to be well aware. That was a major misplay coming out of WE that the bubble came out first. I would have much rather seen Mystic throw out his ulti because auto-attacking, then throwing out a bubble.
Or the melee range tidal wave, so there's nowhere to flash.
So 5 is just going to be, he's going to be a little bit more aware of the play happening in front of him. So now OMG are going to be looking to push on this tower.
They've got a massive minion wave and huge damage with that Graves and Varus. They break down the first turret of the game, bringing it to a 2,500 gold advantage.
And the reason why that's popular, or at least possible, is because they have TP advantage.
Yeah.
957 blowing his TP means that if a play were to happen, Xiyang will be able to double down on that. And that would be at the very most a 5v4 play, because Xiye would have his own TP, but then Icon would roam him down. OMG sees this as a major power play, especially since Mystic does not have ulti, and so they take down that tower, and now they got a dragon for themselves. Really heads-up play coming out of OMG.
Now 2,000 gold ahead from Team WE as they head back towards base to pick up some more items. There's the Warhammer finished from Icon. and 2 more daggers along with the Zerker Greaves for Smlz. So they're transitioning rather well. But with that Varus unlocked, Xiyang's going to go for a quick shove and stay top. This is a very common play in the LPL to swap for that top tier 2. Late recall from Mystic as he catches the wave. They don't have teleport from 957, but they do from Xiye. Do they defend that top tier 1 for what we know is soon to be a shove top?
Yeah, they're definitely looking to move towards it, so they know that this is going to happen. Sending Ashe bot would be awful in the sense that, A, they got the second back, so then it would turn into a trade. All right. Just whisked right by him. And then that would mean WE would be really slow to deploy. So they're just looking to defend on this. They even have Ashe arrow, or at least they had it. So they could have looked for a play if they trapped them in this 2v2. They're just going to have to wait for the next enchanted crystal arrow. Yeah,
instead it's just the AD carry and support, so not a hard shove. World 6 and Icon do make their way up there. There's a control ward in that brush that will spot out this in advance. Xiye just trying to tag World 6 for some damage. Focus on getting that vision. The more knowledge you have, the easier it is to execute on the ensuing play. They do have that teleport advantage for Xiyang. It's about 60 seconds away from 957. Window of opportunity for Team OMG.
Yeah, so this is really good for OMG in the sense that Jayce has maximum level of freedom. This man is basically sporting the American flag right now. He's able to push up this wave, and with how much vision control put up to the top side river, he can always look to hide, and Xiye will never know where he is, that he's either looking towards top side play with Graves, or if he's looking to fake into just sitting back for the wave. So right now Xiye is in a tough position, knowing that the pressure is being torn away from him.
Yeah.
That being said,
right now Icon's just playing back. He's catching these minions so close to finishing off his Youmuu's Ghostblade, so going to prioritize that. But that's Xiye finishing off his own Gunblade. Meanwhile, top lane, Smlz in 5 with that slight minion push advantage have been working on this turret. They're chipping away at its health with each and every wave. And with World 6 still staying on this side of the map, they might try to break it down rather soon, but again, Condi is there first.
Yeah, so Condi always has to stick around here in this area. A, to contest the wards, but B, he knows that OMG is constantly looking for this play. World 6 will never look bot side, unless, of course, if he's completely shoved out. This is a power play coming out of OMG.
Yeah, but they do have WE has their teleport back up. So if a fight were to break out, they can answer in kind. As Xiyang doing the standard top lane play, pushing the minion wave, ducking out of vision, pushing the minion wave, ducking out of vision. He's going to have to answer 957 soon. And again, the minion wave crashes. World 6 shows up.
Lee Sin is in the area. I was wondering if he was backing. He was channeling it.
Yeah, Xiye's finishing off his blue buff on that side of the map. He's got his own teleport ready as well, so he's allowed to roam. Icon trying to hold on to this minion wave. He's finished off his Youmuu's. He used it to get back into lane, but like you said, he's got that shove priority, and it's playing all around that top tier 1 from OMG. If they can find WE unprepared to defend it, they take that turret.
But that was just a major, honestly, hats off to WE to defending that, to just defend that play. Oh, get out of there.
Oh, that's the cask. For relatively low damage on a 957, but like you said, they are defending. The recall is being finished from Mystic and Ben.
There's going to be charging up. They might just lose the tower for this. Depends if Smlz sticks to the lane he was going to. So that's going to be pretty worrying. OMG has the ability to be able to pick this tower up for themselves.
This is a bait. He's on top of a ward right now. They've swept out all of the vision from the rest of OMG. They know Icon's still in the mid lane. So, yeah, Smlz just goes for the ward instead before turning forwards. They've got those teleports ready.
And Ashe has enchanted crystal arrow too, so if he fully commits to this one, it could be a long distance play.
Yeah, it seems like OMG decides to let it go though. The turret's finished off. Mystic and Ben decide to swap towards mid, perhaps looking for a kill on Icon. The arrow goes out, and he's actually hit by it. There's a tidal wave to follow it up. They've got a lot of damage, Bubble as well, and they get the kill onto Icon. You can see that heavy sigh. He should have seen that coming.
Yeah, that was max CC coming out of the Ashe enchanted crystal arrow. Perfectly timed. Really well set up play. They even conditioned him, so the only way he was able to get out of that position, of course, was just behind the turret, because he was found in that bit of a crevice.
In between the wall and the turret.
Exactly. So that arrow was going to hit, unless if he flashed. So just didn't flash.
Now we do see Team WE using that pressure in the mid lane to turn it into a vision advantage bottom. Mountain Dragon is up in 60 seconds, and the bottom tier 1 is up to Xiyang to defend it. He's using that Sunfire, but kled is already tanking it. They reset aggro. 957 still holds on to it, so they are fine to keep diving this. They get the kill and get right on out.
And just take a look at how much damage 957 took, and he still has Skarl available for himself. So yeah, easiest dive for WE's life. They pick it up for themselves, and they're going to remain pressuring top side, so really heads-up play from them. They're still behind, but they're contesting, and that's nice to see from WE.
And OMG, they invested so heavily in the top tier 1, WE seemed to feint it, saying, oh no, we're not defending it. Just kidding. We're going mid, we're pushing top. And look at all the vision from OMG on that top side of the map. That is useless. The only person up there is Icon. Xiye is going to continue to keep Smlz occupied in this mid lane. He has finished his rune on, so he's scaling up nice and comfortably. Mystic is making his way up there as well. And Xiye looks for an assassination, almost finds it. Needs a chain of corruption, though. The snare is popped. That's actually Blade of the Ruined King as well, as Smlz goes hard to protect his support.
Yeah, that was a good response from Smlz, or you would have seen WE just go towards Dragon, right? Because that's just going to be 100% backing. Now that Xiye, he's going to have to back himself.
Yeah, and now OMG, again, it seems like they are slow to the punch against Team WE. Yes, they have the advantage in this game, but it's WE setting up the plays, responding, and moving in advance. Mountain Dragon has just spawned. They've already got vision all over this side. They're pinging on wards for 957 to teleport to as well. Xiye's got his own teleport. Enchanted Crystal Arrows off cooldown, and WE look to set up for this side of the map.
Yeah, WE's in a great position. Just take a look at where 957 is currently. Ooh.
Yeah, there's the arrow. That's teleport from Xiye to get in as Rift Herald disappears. They've still got 957's teleport. He was sitting just outside of vision topside.
Yeah, perfectly played right now. OMG cannot look to contest this Dragon. If they do, that will be a fight being enabled by 957, who will have that TP ready for him. They're going to be pushing in, but those are wards in the red side jungle of OMG.
As a unit, though, OMG are able to break through before Xiye and the rest of WE can respond. Again, 957 has to duck back. That's teleport started, and he's going bottom now. He's going to flank right on in. Here comes kled. Gets into the back line, he finds 5. He already has no flash, and he will pop over the wall. Excuse me, that's no heal. Xiyang gets into the back onto Mystic, though, gets a good pop, tosses the cast, but Mystic dodges. He turns onto the tank, trying to get in, and the damage is enough. This is WE turning the fight and answering back.
OMG couldn't do anything off of that. They were trying to get a counter flank TP play out of Xiyang, but he was isolated. OMG couldn't push in to really help him out, and now they're going to try and respond by taking this mid lane.
Yeah, they're trying to call the bluff from WE. You burned too much killing our tank. Do you have enough to finish this off? 957 actually completed his recall. He was at low health. They don't have Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They don't have a lot of wave clear. And with the Chain of Corruption missing, OMG now will swap towards that Dragon.
Yeah, that's a big key point there, is that WE doesn't have a lot of wave clear to their name.
Ooh, Condi looks for the Insect. He's found World 6, but Xiye is now in melee range of the Graves. That's a lot of damage, and they follow it up. 957 gets the kill with some help from Dragon. Condi will give his life, jungler for jungler, but WE continue to chase forward. Icon turns it back around. He assassinates the support, but Mystic gets the arrow. He tries to heal through the damage of 5 and will die, but this is going to be 4 members dead, the unofficial ace for Team WE in game number 2.
Great response, and it was all off of Condi getting a key, crucial kick onto Graves. He ended up dying to it, so it looked like a trade, but that was WE saying, all right, we've got him. They just barreled in forward and got the team fight for themselves.
Yeah, very bloody skirmish as the teams trade back and forth, but despite being down 2 turrets, WE are only down 1,000 gold. So if they manage to clear out those standing gold eventually, they'll be right back up. Here's that kick you talked about.
And Xiye doesn't have a lot of HP. In fact, he messed up with the chain, so he had to back away, but the rest of WE was ready and geared for this entire fight. So just take a look at OMG. They're trying to pick themselves up a kill off that, and 5 gets a really a key Q, so you get Jayce following up on that, but that ain't gonna happen as soon as Mystic uses his ulti too. So that's just gonna be followed up. Xiye is far too healthy along with 957, so that's damage just being piled on.
Absolutely, and we're seeing huge damage from both of these teams. You've got LeBlanc, Ashe, and kled against Graves, Jayce, and Varus. Not to mention 5 did a huge hit in that last fight. Interestingly enough, we're seeing Ben go for the Mikhail's Crucible to keep someone safe if they ever get caught by a Chains of Corruption, delaying that need for a Quicksilver Sash, but OMG rush down mid lane. 957 is top, and again, WE find themselves just a little slow to the take this time. OMG get their first calling the bluff of WE, and they take that turret.
And this is a good difference between the composition. OMG, they can actually look this way. Once Icon gets damaged, the fish!
Yeah, he had to flash over the wall and even drops the tidal wave to escort him away.
All right. Nami gets out well and clean, even though there was an attack happening.
So that's the trade. One turret for one, but the Mountain Dragon picked up for OMG. But as you said about those compositions.
Yeah, so OMG, they have a pretty clear focus on poke and just around siege as well, along with just Jayce and Varus. They can find that pick. They can really take them down. So WE, who doesn't have a lot of wave clear for themselves, they're going to definitely struggle in dealing with that. They want to be able to... The only way they can actually push them off is looking for flank plays off of either LeBlanc.
Yeah, WE seem like the type of team comp that's going in. They've got kled, they've got LeBlanc, Ashe, and Lee Sin. Xiye's keeping Xiyang occupied down here on this bottom lane. Doesn't have his teleport just yet, but he has excellent wave clear. And with Xiyang with no cask, means that slowly but surely, this start's going to take a little bit of chip damage.
Yeah, time and time again. So he's going to be able to take it a little bit. That's WE looking to respond by just clearing vision top side of the map.
Yeah. Setting up vision around that Baron. OMG, however, respond with some wards of their own. The wave up top is about neutral, and the wave in mid is about neutral as well, so they're comfortable meeting in the river, dropping wards, and backing away. However, Xiye is going to continue working on that bottom tier 1 turret. He's going to have his teleport ready at the same time as Xiyang is. So this is overall a net advantage for WE if they can hold this position as Xiye just keeps on chipping shots at it. Wave after wave, it's auto after auto. And
here's what worries me when it comes to...
That's a Zanya's. That's a misclick from Xiye. You can see the look of panic on his face. He doesn't have flash, and Xiyang turns in. This could be a huge mistake. Xiyang follows up, doesn't have the mimic just yet, pops right on back around and loops into the turret, but a flash from Xiyang gets the kill. Huge smile on his face as Xiye gives himself a bit of a forehead scratch. Big mistake.
Yeah, take a look at your inventory, Xiye. That's not Gunblade active that he used. That's that's Zanya's. Unfortunate for him to make that misplay happen for himself. So that was a play that WE were able to look for. That should have been tower after a while, but that one misplay puts it right into OMG's court. And so you're going to have to... I'm still really worried for OMG once they look towards these sieges, because they need a lot of QSSs for themselves. It needs to be on Icon and World 6, because A, the flank plays coming out of Condi and Xiye, but also the Mystic's Enchanted Crystal Arrow. If they ever get tied up in one CC chain, if they look for these sieges, then they will get popped out. So I do want to see like QSS being built on more carries here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that's the case. Perhaps 5 could go for the same route as Ben and look for a Mikhail's Crucible as well. But again, that item very important early on. You can see now the clone from Xiye spotting out bottom as WE. They decide not to trust that bottom lane to Xiye once again as 957 with teleport heads down there. So bit of a swap in the 1-3-1 setup from Team WE. Even though it was only a single mispress, it did cost them that entire setup that they had built for themselves, the entire bit of momentum. Now that allows OMG to start pressing forward with vision on this top side of the map and control the river around the Baron.
Yeah, and it depends. I don't believe OMG can hold this. Reason for it is now LeBlanc is getting that top lane shoved in. Someone's going to have to deal with it after 2 more waves. So once that happens, that means that LeBlanc is able to roam. That's why I like LeBlanc top more so than kled. Either way, either can do this. But now,
Sonic Wave finds 5. That's the arrow. It goes in between. Condi still tries to force the fight. They turn onto World 6, but they don't have the burst. That's a flank from Smlz. They get 1. 80 carry for jungler. He flashes in. That's exhaust immediately. Cask pins him to the wall, and he dies to 957. Xiye is continuing to loop around, but they've lost Mystic. It's up to Xiye at 957. He's Zanya's correctly this time, but Xiyang is all over him. Tosses out the barrels. 5, firing these shots onto Ben. And with 957 and Xiye, they've got more than enough crowd control to turn this fight around. Xiye leaps over the wall, has to dodge the follow-up damage. Actually doesn't get the ethereal chains, and with a tier 1 still standing, it's a 4 for 3 in favor of WE.
Whoa, that was a bit of a skirmish, I'll tell you, because 957.
Skirmish, that was a full 5v5 team fight, Raz.
Yeah, I was wondering where 957 ulti went, because it got canceled out by Xiyang, and even Mystic utilized his flash to get an assassination. So he ended up dying because he used it offensively.
And this is what we're seeing as a result of that. Mid-tier 1 and bottom tier 1 are going down. Finally, that standing gold is being picked up. Here's the fight.
All right, just take a look at Mystic from this point forward, because he really moves in to get an assassination off of World 6. So his flash is down, and so, yeah.
Flash melee range, Varus. As you said, the charge from 957 is denied by Xiyang, so it turns into a skirmish between those top laners support. But WE are able to stall it out with Xiye on that Zanya's.
Yeah, so there's no more damage coming out of Xiyang in 5, of course. And 957 able to get Scarlet back for himself. That's a lot of HP regain. So that's, yeah, they're just going to clean it up.
Now taking a look at the gold, now that those turrets have been taken, this is what we expected as WE finally clean up those neutral objectives around the map. They're 1,000 gold ahead with those 4 kills. Taking a look at CS, it's rather even, about a 20 CS lead as the arrow misses, but they're still going in. That's 957 chasing up, but they have to catch up to a Jayce. Bear Trap is going to be lanced out, and they are going so hard to kill him, blowing everything they have. 5 members of WE show up, and they get that kill.
And that's pretty key. WE, they're going to go to Baron. OMG needs to be able to stop this. And if they do, that could be a fight being followed up once again from WE.
Yeah, huge priority from WE to target that emotional rock for OMG in Icon. They duck just outside of vision, but they're still right there. And, perhaps going a little bit too soon. That's the tidal wave in the choke. Chain of Corruption onto Xiye. He drops his onions, but they've already assassinated Smlz. Xiye is fine and is going to walk away from this, but he might decide to continue chasing as 957 are a little split with this. They managed to get the kill on both the carries for OMG. Now they're going to turn onto the Baron itself.
Xiye doesn't have much HP to his name, but no one's going to be looking to contest this.
Here comes the rest of OMG. They're still at rather high health because of that Ocean Drake. Xiye's around the side along with Mystic, so the carries are nice and safe. World 6 is level 14 with Spike, so he can match it. They tag Xiyang, and they're getting a lot of damage across as they continue to chase it forward. So much crowd control. As Mystic finally gets that kill, they are just working their way through these kills front to back, time after time.
Yeah, they're not going to go to Baron because their job is already done. They're too low in HP to do it. That was a beautiful bubble coming out of Ben to get the kill onto Xiyang.
With the recall from WE at low health, though, that means that OMG turn on towards that dragon. Condi and Ben are still sitting over here at the Baron. Mystic walks his way around, and with all of OMG on the other side of the map, they have no idea. There's no vision. This is a huge play from WE as they set up for the Baron, and it is the long con. World 6 is like, wait a sec, we've got no wards. They're not even bothering to clear this one out, as finally 5 will show up in time, even the blue trinket being used, but Baron is already picked up, and WE are out of there. The Italian job is successful.
Yeah, it's gone. The only other blue trinket on their roster was on Icon, who was going towards the Krugs. That showcases they had no idea that play was happening.
Yeah.
That one hole in their vision, completely exploited. They expected WE to back away, go back to base off of that entire skirmish back and forth. But Mystic, he went back, and that was it. So the moment they come back onto the map, they're able to immediately demolish that Baron. Great straight-up play coming out of WE.
And take a look at the score lines from WE. 7-0-4 from 957. 2-1-12 on Xiye. His only death was because he did Zanya's instead of Gunblade. That single mistake did cost him a temporary tempo advantage, but WE immediately follow up. Again, this is the well-oiled machine that we were talking about. They have got a composition that goes in one direction, in, and now they've got Baron to back it up.
Yeah, now what I'm afraid of for OMG is that WE, kled, he's massive, as you said, and he has GA for himself. So once he actually bullies that top side, Gragas is nowhere to be seen there because he doesn't want to deal with it. He's looking to see if he can make a play happen with his team or look to defend if they get jumped on. But kled, all he has to do is shove this one out. Keep shoving if he can, unless if he has another item for himself. And then look for a dive, look for a flank play, and with the GA that he has, and now a finished Randuin's Omen, they are ready. They are primed, set to push forward the Baron that they have for
Yeah, they've topped off some big items all around. Void Staff from Xiye. He's got another NLR. You can see the Phantom Dancer picked up for Mystic and another BF sword. They have got so much going for them. Setting up side waves. Top will push in eventually with the turret equals. But WE now swap down towards the bottom. They've got a big wave down there. Xiye will have to protect it because there is a lot of wave clear from Icon and Smlz without that Baron buff. But they're just playing the 1 and 4, running back and forth between mid and top to look for an opening in OMG's defenses.
And just take a look where kled just getting that mid lane pushed out, so Gragas had to deal with it. And here comes the
dive. Arrow. This is the composition that goes in. Smlz is taking so much damage. He's destroyed by Xiye. World 6 gets left behind. He's going to make it onto the turret, but they continue chasing 1, 2 turrets deep, and that's 3 members of Team OMG dead. 2 versus 5. Team WE are about to take this set 2-0.
And they make it look easy. After taking down that Baron, they know what to do.
Yeah, they're continuing to push on to the Nexus turrets. 5 and Xiyang are sitting on the fountain. There is nothing they can do to stop the roll from Team WE. Game number 2 will go over to the older organization here. And with very happy faces, they're going to take their headsets off. And Raz, we're 1 game away from a clean sweep.
And it's just that fast. That is a mighty big wall in WE. And so OMG, they have to double check what happened in that game. They have to really understand, like, they were in it for quite some time. In fact, their early game was incredibly strong. It was much better than the last game. A, because of the composition, but B, they really did play towards World 6. But all it takes is that one play.
And that's exactly what you talked about in the early game. World 6 ahead, but what's he going to do? He ganked it several times, but just wasn't able to make anything happen. And you can see, OMG had a lead for a portion of the game. They could just never grow it. Anytime they try to play, it was WE stymieing it, stopping it, and responding until finally they found their core items, they found their momentum towards the back half of the game.
And what I wanted to see from OMG is more pressure into the bottom lane, impact that matchup, utilize Varus' ulti to really get this game going and pushing forward for you. They weren't able to do that very convincingly, and so WE were able to stall it out. They even utilized the Ashe very effectively to move towards the mid lane, get that ulti off, and really get the lead for LeBlanc. Just get the Jayce locked down.
Absolutely.
And so that was just them adapting within the game, knowing that they're far behind, but they were able to make small picks time and time again to regain control.
And WE are just running rampant over OMG in this series. Take a look at that gold damage. The fact that Xiyang did almost twice as much damage as anyone else on his team, 5 himself was second place. That does not bode well when the carries, the Jayce, Graves, and Varus did the least damage on their team because of how W played it. Anytime there were to be a skirmish, WE would dive in as a collective 5-man unit. They had these excellent fakes. They had these excellent plays. And this is the communication that we talked about. WE are playing at a 10 right now. And OMG, we got to see it 2 days ago when they played against IMA, but they need to bring it out here if they want to bring us to Game 4.
Yeah, we have seen WE in the regular season fall behind. There are definite plays when Condi has gone really far behind in the jungle. There was that one Gragas game. It happens. But they're able to understand where to cut losses and push forward, right? I think that it was incredibly played from Condi to start to move towards bottom lane and get the Ashe going. That dive, or at least those plays happened. I think it failed at one point. But it worked in a sense that they were always still focused, and then it was difficult for Graves to find any lane moving for him. So I just wanted to see him go towards the bottom lane, which is a prime CC spot, and it could have moved Jayce towards him as well.
And that's exactly an excellent word that you bring up, focus. WE, it seems like not once during this series have we seen them without a focus. They always have a goal. They are always moving around the map with an objective and an intent. Whereas you look at OMG, their objective is, their focus is sit and wait, scale with Kog'Maw as goes on. It's much more of these ethereal concepts instead of we're going to go for 20 CS and try to skirmish here in mid lane, or we're going to set up vision around Dragon, see if they're taking it or back away. And it's this lack of direction, this lack of clear focus that is costing them against a team like WE that is so razor sharp in how focused they are.
Yeah, and I think there was still a major improvement when it came to OMG, right? It definitely...
They had an advantage in the early game.
Yeah, so that's something to build off of, even though they know going into Game 3, they are at match point, set point. But just take a look at that. That was really well played from Condi to be able to knock him in. And so the rest of WE are there to follow up. Even though it wasn't the cleanest follow-ups, they were still there. And they were going to be able to move on to the 3 members who were just trying to finish the job on Condi. And so you just see plays like this where 957 is constantly moving with the team. So that's why I think that he is the player. No, it's Xiye.
Yeah.
I don't agree
Xiye
with that.
gets the MVP. 4-1 and 12. He died once because he pressed the wrong button once. That's really exceptional. And though he was missing a few chains, he kept Xiye Icon locked down in lane. He was doing huge damage in these fights.
And here's the thing is that I think WE played around him incredibly well. As I mentioned, Ashe coming in for an Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but also Lee Sin coming in as well in one of the skirmishes that Jayce was having. So he got locked down once, and then it turned into a second chain, an immediate follow-up from Lee Sin. So there were times where they utilized Xiye to regain control of the game. That is nice. I think that right now we see 957 is definitely playing very well towards the team advantages that he's had. So there is definitely a case for both players. And so I guess I'll
so Raz, we are 1 game away from WE 3-0ing OMG.
Yeah.
This is set point coming up in just a few minutes. What does OMG need to do to turn this around? Because they've been in this position before against IMA, and heck, even in that game where they did turn it around, game number 3, they were down for the first half of the game. It was Icon pulling himself together and pulling the whole team onto his back to turn it around. Do they have to look towards Icon once again, or is this a whole team growth they need to show?
It is a team growth. The reason for that, I'm immediately going to point towards jungle mid support synergy. I think that Ben is moving really well with the team to get wards down, constant control, and I really like that coming out of Condi and Ben. this game and this set, I think it's a little worse. It was good game 1
Yeah.
that we saw 5 moving just a little bit towards the mid lane along with World 6, but we didn't see that coming out of game 2. And with the early game advantage that this team has had, we want to see more vision control. We want to see an actual focus around what they're looking to control around. So that's one mistake, and that's something you can move on to game 3.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can recover because, again, their backs are against the wall. And I've got to agree with you. World 6 and 5 have just been a little bit slow to the take when you look at the likes of Ben on his Thresh and of the damage that he was doing in those late fights. But backs against the wall for Team OMG. They have got one more chance to turn things around. They have to reverse sweep Team WE, the best team in Group A, if they want to continue their run in playoffs.